Hey folks, welcome to the Oklahoma City Rattlesnake and Reptile and Venom Museum. And we're here today doing a countdown of Allice Cooper songs because A, I'm a big Allice Cooper fan, and B, because our alligator is named Allice Cooper. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl, so when she grows up, she'll either be Alice or she'll be Cooper. But we spell her with two L's, A-L-L-I-C-E. Alice. No. Okay guys, this is Alice right here. She's having a little afternoon snack. We call her Allice Cooper. Taste. All right, guys. Well, number 15 on my countdown is going to be from his newest album, Detroit Stories, Social Debris, which came out in February. The reason it's one of my favorite songs, and I'm just really getting into the album, is because, he's 70, 72, 73, and he still sounds awesome. So that's why I put that one on my countdown. Number 14, which is Welcome to My Nightmare 2, the sequel to his 1975 album, Welcome to My Nightmare. There's a song on here is called I Was Made for You, or Made of You, actually, and it's really a pretty good song. There's a couple good ones on there, plus he kind of reminisces with Steven, which was a big part of the Welcome to My Nightmare original album. So that's why that's on my countdown. I really like that one. Then we're going to go to number 13, which no particular song on this album, Killer, is one of my favorites, but the reason I love it is because in 1971, I was when I got my first boa constrictor. I was like 13 years old, and I got it in the summer. Well, lo and behold, along comes November, and Alice puts out this album, and it's got a picture of my snake on it, so I had to get it. In fact, I got 2 or 3 copies now. You're going to notice that a lot of these albums are beat up. I've had to replace them from garage sales and record stores because all my albums burned up in a fire at our car shop we used to have. But in my office, I had them all screwed into the top of the rafter part of the ceiling so you could all see them. And I lost some pretty good ones in there, some Stones, some Kiss, of course, all my Alice. My Welcome to My Nightmare album that I had there probably didn't ever play anymore because the grooves were so run down. But, we couldn't beat it. I mean, it was got a boa constrictor on it. It looks just like my snake. 71 was great because that was in November. That was the year of the Game of the Century, Oklahoma and Nebraska. Taggy versus Mildren, and Pruitt versus Rogers. And some of us still think Rogers got a clip on that play, but they never called it on the run back and won the game. But anyway, we're going to move on to number 12, which you might laugh, but it's from the Sgt. Pepper's soundtrack. Now, nothing was really great about the movie. Nobody liked the movie. But as far as the soundtrack went, a lot of those Beatles songs during my era, we were like, well, yeah, they're okay. But the Beatles fans, God, they loved it. They shoved it down our throats all the time. Well, then when they redid some of the songs for this album, Alice did with the Bee Gees, he redid Because. And I really like that song because it was a perfect part of the movie. It was one of the better parts of the movie. That and the Aerosmith, of course, come together. And realistically, we only bought the album for the come together from Aerosmith, but Alice's version was really good, and I like it, so that's why it's made my countdown. Again, the movie, but as far as the album, it wasn't a bad remake of some of those Beatles songs. Some of them you wonder why the Beatles didn't do them, because they weren't that great of a song, but they certainly came out better here. We're going to move on to Love It to Death. This came out in March of 1971, quite a few months before the Killer album, but the thing was, every teenager at that time was thinking, I can't wait till I'm 18. And that was our fight song. Was, I'm 18. So that's why I really liked that one. A lot of fans of Alice Cooper are either the Alice Cooper band, which they split up in 74, and then Alice went on his own. AC went on his own. So some of them are big fans of the earlier stuff. It was the group. Some of them are fans of when it was just a solo. I like it all, so it doesn't matter to me. Next, we're going to move on to Lace and Whiskey, which is right back here. Now, this album came out, this third album, the second one after Welcome to My Nightmare, and it had that song You and Me on it, which wasn't a bad song. I mean, it was pretty good. It probably charted somewhere around 20, 21 on the Billboard charts. It got some airplay. It was a popular song. Not a lot of great songs on there. not one of the best of his albums, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it was, like I said, You and Me was kind of a big hit. It got him airplay. So he had a kind of a string right there from 75 through 78 where he had 4 or 5 songs that just, they charted. They didn't chart great, but they charted so that he got airplay from the radio stations and people got to know more about it. We're going to move on to Goes to Hell. Now, this would be his second album after Welcome to My Nightmare, and it's kind of a continuation. It does have references to Steven in that. It has the big hit I Never Cry, which a lot of people really like that song. About it was part of the drinking problem and things that he was going through back in the late 70s. But it wasn't bad. It's got some other good songs on it. Didn't We Meet? Go to Hell. I'm Going Home is a good one. So it's definitely an album worth getting. But again, I Never Cry was the big song that everybody liked. Okay, next we're going to go with Flush the Fashion. This is 1980. It's a little bit different time for Alice. And, we weren't real sure what AC was doing there, especially with We're All Clones. And that one kind of had a little bit of chart success on the airplay. But really, guys, if you get this album, or if you have a chance to listen to this album, the song Pain is great. And the reason it's great is because, well, one of the lines in that song is, I'm the lump on your head when I step on the rake. As a guy, that makes you think of the Three Stooges, and all the guys like Three Stooges. So it was a great song. It's one we really, really liked. Next, we're going to move to Constrictor. Again, another boa constrictor on the cover. Hey, all you Hurt fans, you got to love that. But the reason I like this one is because he did the song He's Back, which was from the Jason Goes to Hell, part 6, Probably the last really good installment of the Jason franchise, because after that it was, Jason Goes to Manhattan, Jason Goes to Outer Space, Jason Goes shopping at Walmart, and none of them worth an art. But that one, Goes to Hell, was good, and especially with Alice's song, He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask. Next, we're going to move on to everybody's favorite, and don't laugh at my album, because it's in, well, actually, I got a new one here. Somebody brought me a new one. Hang on a minute. My $1 Billion Babies is kind of taped together, but a friend of mine brought brought me one he found at a garage sale. It even still has the $1 billion bill in it. So, but it's from the Allice Cooper group, and this has, one of his better songs, No More Mr. Nice Guy. It also has $1 Billion Babies. It's another song. Great album. Probably his best of his group years. Again, No More Mr. Nice Guy, just the perfect song to play at a party or outing at the lake. Let's see. Then we want to go with, well, thank God Alice was doing something in the 80s, and he came with Trash, which had the hit Poison on it. That was probably his highest charting single. And the reason I say thank God is because this was right before this grunge stuff came in. There was nothing good that came out of the grunge except for Weird Al's, parody of Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. But Poison was the end of the 80s, and it was awesome. It made everybody rocking, and we've seen him in concert twice. Great song to see. Gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta love it. Okay, then let's move right up to the shot here to School's Out. This came out in 1972. Glenn Buxton's prelude into the song, one of the most recognizable instrumental parts of the song ever. School's Out, great song. It came out in the spring. People in schools in Reno, Nevada, where I grew up, they all got out at the same time. It's all the Washoe County School District. So schools from then till when I graduated in '77, I know they always played it like the last day of the school year, which was usually the last Friday, first Friday of June. It was just a great song. If you go back probably, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, 8 years ago, and Alice's commercial for Staples when he's with his daughter and he's shopping in Staples and she's pouting and she says, "I thought you said school was out forever." And then he goes, No. The line is "School's out for summer." So again, when School's Out, great album. Next, we're going to move to part of his 80s group, Hey Stupid. And this has one of his best songs that I like. People I introduced the song to really like it. And it's called Love is a Loaded Gun. And it starts out, just right with a bang from the beginning. It's vintage Alice with somebody saw you at the station. You had the suitcase in your hand. It's just great, great song. But there's another song on here. It's called Might As Well Be on Mars, which is very David Bowie-esque, or Allice Cooper, David Bowie-esque together. But it's really a good song. And if you do get this album, you have a chance, check it out. It's called Might As Well Be on Mars. And then we're into the finals here. Let's see. The next two are just, again, the complete albums. This is From the Inside. It was a great album cover. Had all kinds of stuff on the back. Showed them all escaping the nut house. He was committed for a while there for drinking and alcohol problems. Quite a few good songs. A big song from the record, from the airplay was How You Gonna See Me Now. But there are so many other good songs on here. The Quiet Room, Nurse Rosetta, Jackknife Johnny, Serious, Inmates, We're All Crazy. Awesome album, all awesome songs. I can't pick my favorite out here because I love them all. They're all great. I think it's an album that if you get a chance, you should get it and listen to it. It didn't get its justice because that was when the whole disco thing was starting with Saturday Night Fever and Saturday Night Fever movie, Grease, all that. So it kind of just got swept under the rug. It really was a good album. Should have had more airplay. Should have been more in the prime of record collecting. And finally, the best. Of course, it's going to be Welcome to My Nightmare. Every song on here is awesome, from Nightmare on down, all the way down to the last song, Escape, which probably should have been, everybody's theme song when getting out of COVID. It was great. The song Only Women Bleed on here, probably the best instrumental lead-in of any, it was done by Dick Wagner. Dick Wagner has a couple videos on YouTube if you guys get a chance to watch them. He talks about it. He wrote Only Women Bleed, the music part, when he was with a band called The Frost in 1968. In 1975, he played it for Alice. He never really liked the lyrics that he had put to the song, and Alice redid the lyrics, and that was one of his other highest chopping ones, probably. I think Poison got to number 7. I think Only Women Bleed got to number 12. Has to do with domestic violence. It was one of the first songs to do that. In fact, it was kind of taboo that when it was released as a single, it only said Only Women on the 45. You guys remember what 45s are? I've got a few on the wall over there. But it was that's what it was, Only Women. It didn't say Only Women Bleed. Of course, he used Vincent Price long before Michael Jackson ever did. The Black Widow, one of the best songs. In Department of Youth, here he's telling the youth is saying, "We got the power," and he says, "Who gave it to you?" And they say, "Donny Osmond." What? Just a perfect part. Just a great, great album. And everybody's record collection should have this album in it. And I think I'll wind up with telling everybody thanks for watching. This is just my take on Alice's songs. I've got so many of his albums. And, in fact, I told you guys about I lost my albums in a fire. The only record that survived from the fire, not that it survived, but is Welcome to My Nightmare. All the other ones were lost. They all melted away. But we actually found this one in the rubble. We were digging through it, so kind of a special place here. If you're ever in Oklahoma City, come on down to the Rattlesnake Museum. And again, we've got just more than just rattlesnakes. We have a Galapagos tortoise, we got the crocodile, the alligator. We got this big couch potato right here. This is Godzilla. He's our iguana. And, it's evening time, so he's going to go to sleep. Again, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Try some of those songs that I mentioned. Happy AC Allice Cooper.